Alright, so forgive the really simple set today. I'm in the middle of moving, and so I can't really do the fancy stuff I normally do. My apologies, but I did want to show you that I picked up an Akai Force, like I mentioned in my last video. And although this one has a few issues, the Sata port appears to not work, so I'm talking to the guy I bought it from, and I might have to swap it out. I was still able to use an SD card to make a couple of songs using some samples, some kit maker expansions, or basically machine expansions that were converted, as well as, the plugins and some free key groups I got for the MPC Live. And so I'm pretty excited about this whole setup. My hope is to have this be the brain of a live setup in the future for live performance. I want to just show you some of the beats I made and kind of talk about what I enjoy about this thing. Loading times aren't too bad. I'm still curious how I'm going to handle it for a live set, if I want to load per project or just try to create one project with everything. Yeah, you can see this one is really, it's a mix of key groups and drums and the different onboard synths. This is one of the first things I made on here, and I really like it. It's got a nice organic sound to it, and I feel like that's a little different from some of the stuff I've heard on other Force videos, which are all really cool. But I'm trying to bring my own sound to it, right? Prove why I should be in this space. Yeah, I want to say, really shout out to so many of the great content creators who are making Akai Force videos. Folks like Pink Buddha, Elbow Media, obviously Akai Pro, Sonic State. Yes, Maxipoc Music is one of the best ones. This video, I'll link it. Akai Force Complete Beginner's Guide, unbelievable. Yeah, Maxipoc makes just some incredible videos on the Akai Force. Younger makes some really good Akai Force videos. Anyway, there's a ton of people making good stuff, so definitely check them out. And I wouldn't be able to do what I can do with this thing if it wasn't for them, because I learned from watching them. So here's some other stuff I've done. This is a mix again, different expansions, and I've got a few. If I go to a new track, key group, load, I've got some Bolt OPZ expansions that are super good. These brass and piano, they're a little heavy, I don't use them a lot. This pack's really cool. It's called Dunked by Child of the Corn Dog, or Children of the Corn Dog. I've got Jorb's pack he did. Some M1 stuff, Prologue. Those are all really cool too. Alright, let's check something else out. And I am using disk streaming off of an SD card. I am saving everything on an SD card. Most of the forums I've read suggest, using disk streaming and not using the internal storage for your project, stuff like that. It makes it easier to access them on a computer. The other thing I will say is, like I said, the SATA port doesn't work, and so I had a 500 gigabyte SSD that I can't use on here, which sucks. It's just not recognizing it, and it's the same drive I was using on an MPC Live 2, and so there's no reason it shouldn't work. I even backed it up and then formatted it as exFAT and then renamed it and did all this stuff. It still doesn't work. So I'm talking to the seller because I may end up having to return it, because it really reduces the resale value if I try to ever get rid of it. And not that I want to, right? But I want to hold the value of my products, and having it be compromised like that. I paid, $875, which isn't the MSRP by any means, but it's more than I would have paid if I knew I couldn't use a SATA drive. Anyway, let's check this one out. Something you should know is that this is my favorite way to make music, right? Like this grid-based, clip-based setup. This is what I'm trying to emulate in everything I do, right? This is the apex for me. It's why I have a Launchpad Pro. It's why I've had Ableton pushes. It's why I have the Akai MPC. I think it's or like APK 40 or something. It's the first pad controller I ever used. Once I learned about this type of production, I never wanted to do anything ever again. And the Akai Force has this standalone, which is just bonkers. It's kind of a dream for me, and so I'm really stoked about this. Alright, let's check out one last demo. Super Chiller. I think I made this yesterday. Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited about this one. This one mostly uses splice samples. Something I feel about the Akai Force is that a lot of the default presets for the plugin programs, or yeah, the plugin devices, whatever you want to call them, I think they're kind of thin. I think they can sound kind of weird. Pink Buddha has a really good video on making sure you disable reverb and delay on most of the presets for hype and tube synth, etc., because it makes them sound kind of cheaper and they don't really fit what you're doing. But another really cool way to balance kind of the more artificial sound of the plugins, some of the plugins, is to incorporate key groups using samples and drum kits using samples, or just take one individual sample and turn it into a key group. And I did some of that here. And it creates, like, I think, a really organic sound and really beefs up the sound of the Force. And so it's the same loop, it's just I changed this track, this synth track here, which is a hype synth, and I barely edited this, but I changed the melody line. Kind of a classic GTA San Andreas type 90s beat, but like ethereal. Yeah, you know, I'm really excited about this. Like I said before in my last videos, I am now a Perfect Circuit affiliate, so I've got a link below if you want to buy any gear from them. Some money goes to me, which is really cool. I've got my music on all the streaming services. My album, There's Something Better. I'm very proud of it. I would love it if you checked it out. I now have super thanks, I think, on this channel. So if you are a subscriber and you want to like send money my way, much obliged. No pressure though. And if you're not a subscriber and you enjoy this video and you enjoy what I do, consider liking and subscribing. Awesome. I'm gonna get packing and continue my moving process. I hope you have an awesome week. I'll hopefully catch you from the new studio next time. All right, bye.